Hi, I'm Kevin McLaughlin from ChannelWeb, and I'm here today with Jay Tipton of Technology Specialists. Jay, I'm really curious what you think of the whole cloud computing thing. This is something that all the vendors are talking about. There's a lot of buzz out there. What's your take on it from a solution provider standpoint?
In our market and what we do, the problem is not, it's a good idea. The problem is that where we're at, the internet's not 100% reliable. So what happens is if their internet goes down to their office, you now got 20 people sitting around doing nothing. Now, if it's like some of our clients that are all sales reps and they're out and about and all over the place, I'm all for it. Then you can virtualize everything and not have an office, not have rent. But they're missing the fact that you go outside of the top 100 cities and the internet and everything else is not perfect like it is in the larger cities.
Now, in the same vein, another big buzzword these days is netbooks, and some have said that netbooks kind of tie into the whole cloud computing thing because they're small and lightweight and are able to sort of pack that computing power into a small device. What's your take on netbooks? Are they more of a symptom of the bad economy, or is there something else going on here?
Well, we're actually looking at putting them into a hospital. Just because they're small, you can't put a whole lot of information on it, so it takes care of all the HIPAA and privacy regulations, but it's also something that's easily replaceable. If it gets broken, it gets stolen. So looking at it from that way, we're looking at them to do it in a more of a terminal session type environment. For somebody who's doing just email, Word documents, great. If you want to start doing more, they're really not made for that.
Now, along with netbooks, one of the big buzzwords these days is Windows 7. And as we know, Windows Vista, Microsoft had a lot of problems with Vista. I'm wondering, what you think, even if you haven't really tested out Windows 7 that much, what does Microsoft, or what can they sort of do to erase some of those bad memories that solution providers had of and with Vista?
The good news is we can go in, that I've read up on so far, is we can remove Internet Explorer out of it, because there's a lot of issues with Internet 7 and some websites, especially on the medical side and banking, that it just gives it fits. The farthest I've gotten with it so far is I burned the CD of the 64-bit and it's sitting on my desk at home. Mm-hmm. So as far as testing it, that I haven't done it. Test it and don't force people to switch, because the medical practices, with FDA regulations, they have to test everything out thoroughly, and that costs money, and it takes a lot of time to get that testing done. So I think that's one of the reasons why XP is still around, besides it's more stable than Vista.
Now, the cynical view is that Microsoft added the ability to remove Internet Explorer just because they're being sued, in Europe. Some have said, though, that this could signal a Microsoft that's more willing to be flexible and sort of listen to user feedback and developer feedback and sort of implement those changes. Now, what's your take on a kinder, more gentler Microsoft? What would that mean for the channel?
That hopefully they'll listen to us more and give us more support. We deal with Microsoft because we have to. It's not. They can sometimes be your best partners. There's sometimes your worst, and it's just a roller coaster with them, depending on who you talk to and what you're trying to do. So, I'm hoping it's going to be a little bit nicer and gentler Microsoft to work with.
So, Jay, finally, what's the most impressive technology product you've seen, say, in the last 6 months?
As far as hardware and software, I haven't seen, a whole lot that makes me want to jump up and down. There's no magic bullet for the next big thing. Virtualization, anything doing with virtualization I'm looking at and reading. And there's some neat things there that you can implement with Zen and VMware. But as far as a new, neat, great thing, I haven't seen it.
Okay, great. Well, Jay, thanks very much for your time. I appreciate it.
Not a problem.
All right.